Welcome to Mariners Fan Central.
All right, M's fans, for those of you who are always tuned in to our channel, and for those of you who are new here, thank you very much for being with us. If you're a true Mariners fan, you know the best way to get exclusive news and in-depth analysis about the team is by subscribing to this channel. We dive deep, and I promise you won't find this kind of approach anywhere else. So, click that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and join me, because today, we have an urgent bulletin that every member of the Mariners faithful needs to hear. The final stretch of the regular season is a moment of pure tension, and every step, every decision, can be the turning point between a dream and a nightmare. The M's have been doing a phenomenal job, but as you know, in baseball, the devil is in the details. And it's about those details, about the nightmare scenario the team needs to avoid, that we're going to talk about now, with the seriousness and professionalism that the situation demands. Get ready for a detailed analysis based on data and trends that get straight to the point. The Seattle Mariners situation for the 2025 playoffs is a roller coaster of emotions. For a team that missed the postseason last year, the current performance, with a 9-1 record in the last 10 games, is a source of pride and hope. We are just half a game behind the Houston Astros in the race for the American League West Division, and the expectation is that this final stretch will be a true test of our resilience. The focus now is on the crucial 3-game series against the Astros themselves. It's time to prove that our ascent is no fluke. However, baseball is a game of strategy, and for the M's, the ideal playoff scenario is far from guaranteed. The Mariners' worst playoff nightmare is finishing the season as the last team to qualify through the wild card. Currently, this would put us in a direct and devastating matchup against the New York Yankees. We know it, and the numbers don't lie. Our recent history against the Yankees is discouraging, with a 1-5 record this season. It's a matchup the team desperately needs to avoid. The strength of the New York team, combined with our difficulty in facing them, creates a high-risk scenario that could, unfortunately, result in an early elimination. The dynamics of the matchup put us at a disadvantage, as the New York team has been showing increasing strength in the final stretch of the season. Exactly when the pressure is highest, the Yankees, with their powerful lineup and a bullpen that gets stronger with every game, represent a huge obstacle. If, by some miracle, the M's manage to overcome the Yankees, the next challenge would be the Toronto Blue Jays, another team against whom we have a negative record of 2-4 this season. Just like the Yankees, the Blue Jays are also gaining momentum, which makes this path a real journey of torture for our team. It's a sequence of opponents who are on the rise, in contrast to other teams we could potentially face. The ideal scenario, and this is what the entire city of Seattle hopes for, is for the team to overtake the Astros and win the West Division. This would secure the third-best record in the American League and, in the first playoff series, a matchup against the Boston Red Sox, with whom we had a balanced 3-3 performance this season. Although they are a difficult opponent, it's a much more manageable matchup than the one with the Yankees. And if the M's can advance, there's a chance they'll face the Detroit Tigers, a team we beat 4-2, demonstrating consistent superiority throughout the year. The wild card path is treacherous, and, in our case, a true ordeal. We must avoid this situation at all costs, and focus on winning our division. Winning the West Division is not just a luxury, it's a strategic necessity to open up a more promising path in the playoffs. The upcoming series against the Astros, and then against the Colorado Rockies and the Los Angeles Dodgers, will be decisive. The season is in the M's hands, and what they do with this opportunity will determine whether the World Series dream becomes a reality or if we'll have to face a nightmare even before the party begins. The trajectory is clear. We need to maintain the pace, win the games that matter, and above all, avoid falling into the wild card trap. The responsibility is on the players' shoulders, and the fate of the Mariners faithful is at stake. What I've been observing, and what gives me a bit of hope, is the resilience of this group. The 9-1 record in the last 10 games is no fluke. It's a reflection of a team that has come together, is playing with passion, and has a clear goal: Cal Raleigh, with his 56 home runs, is living proof that we have an offense capable of unbalancing any series. But the question is not just who is standing out individually, but how the entire team performs under pressure. I believe the maturity of our rotation and the consistency of our bullpen will be fundamental for the final stretch. The bullpen in particular has been one of the team's strengths, and the ability to close out close games will be crucial to securing important victories, especially in the decisive series. But getting back to the nightmare scenario, our vulnerability against the Yankees cannot be ignored. It's a blind spot, an obstacle that repeats itself in every confrontation. And that's why we need a clear strategy. Win the division to have the luxury of choosing, so to speak, a more favorable path. The race is tight, not only against the Astros but also against teams like the Cleveland Guardians, who are just 2.5 games behind us. We can't leave anything to chance. The season is a sprint, and we need to make sure we don't run out of steam in the final meters. The lead we have over the Guardians and the Rangers is proof that our work has been successful so far, but complacency is the worst enemy. No one wants to see the team lose a 4-5 game lead over the Rangers, for example, and end up in a disadvantaged position. The last 10 games of the season, with series against the Rockies and the Dodgers, in addition to the decisive confrontation against the Astros, will be the true test of the team's mettle. The ability to remain calm and consistent will be tested, and this is where the role of the leadership in the clubhouse and the coaching staff comes in. The tactical decisions, pitcher choices, and bullpen management will be crucial. It's a game of chess, and the general manager needs to be 3 or 4 moves ahead. Luck also plays a role, of course, and we can count on help from rivals to improve our position. The Detroit Tigers will face the Cleveland Guardians in a series with direct implications for our situation. We'll be keeping an eye on every play, every pitch. At the end of the day, however, it all comes down to what the M's can control. And what they can control is their performance on the field. We know that in the MLB playoffs, a team just needs to get hot at the right time. That magical moment when the offense clicks, the rotation is sharp, and the bullpen is untouchable. That's every fan's dream. But we can't just rely on luck. We need to make sure the team is in the best possible position for that hot streak to happen. My analysis is that the risk of facing the Yankees or the Blue Jays is too high to be ignored. We need to do whatever it takes to win the West Division. The difference between the first and last wild card is a chasm, and that chasm could be the end of our season. Hope dies last, but strategy is the first thing that should be considered. My final analysis is clear. The Mariners need to do everything to avoid the wild card scenario. Winning the West Division is the #1 priority, and the series against the Astros is the key to that. If they succeed, they will be on a much more favorable path to the World Series. If not, the journey will be a true ordeal. What's your opinion, fan? Do you think our team has what it takes to win the division? Or do you believe that even in a wild card scenario, we can pull off an upset? Leave your opinion in the comments, because I want to know what the Mariners faithful think about this final stretch. And don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more exclusive analysis and first-hand news about the M's. I'll see you in the next bulletin. Let's go, Mariners!